Little public meeting to session here. I'm very excited to be here tonight. Abby Jones Consulting, and I have with me Joyce Falwell, my senior engineer and engineering manager, and I've got Jamie Salisbury here, another one of my engineers, and we love stormwater and we want to help you with all the stormwater things. So that's the point of tonight's meeting. So wanted to give you a little bit of an update as to what brought us to our meeting tonight, and then we're going to have an interactive time, which is the way more exciting part. So one of the things that we have been tasked with on our project for the City of Jenkins is an evaluation of your existing stormwater system, and also that includes the condition of the creeks and the ditches and things like that as well. So we have a couple of maps showing those different things. So we've been working on evaluating the condition of those items. We've started building a 3D model that has the ability to do the calculations for how much water is going through different areas and into each inlet. I'm trying to not use my engineering words, so forgive me if I'm stumbling a little bit there. We want to gather evidence of flooding. We want to be listening to ideas and problems and be including that in the solutions that we're coming up with. So we're going to be finishing a stormwater study that will be identifying the different projects that need to have substantial infrastructure improvements. And that'll be something that'll have to be done in bits and pieces. It'll be a bit of an elephant, so it won't be just one project and everything will be magically fixed. We'll be coming up with each of those different component pieces and getting input from this meeting today, not just on what those pieces would look like, but also the priorities of those different pieces. So mostly we're here tonight to listen, but we're also glad to share information about the information that we've gathered as well. So our plan for the evening is to be able to, I'm going to give a little bit of instructions, and Joyce is going to give a little bit of instructions too. We have a little system that involves push pins and post-it notes, and then we'll be gathering information, so we'll be helping you fill out some of those things. So if we want to know what sort of problems and information you have in those different areas. So if you're in the downtown, it's on this map, and if you're in the larger area, it's over on this map. But we want to hear about all those areas, not just the downtown areas. You're welcome to come and join us. So I'll let you
Appreciate
speak to maybe your model. I think Joyce is going to explain our maps a little bit more for you. We still have people coming. This is good. You might need to move some chairs around.
Next time we'll have the elevator, we will start.
So, map of downtown, and this is not the way to stand around it either. We have all the streets indicated, these wide stripes. And then we've also gathered the location of many of the inlets that are in downtown. So the red squares and the blue squares. Now the red ones we have already identified as being an issue, as in they're either clogged or they're not taking in enough of the stormwater. And the blue ones, as far as we know, are adequate for the storm needs. We are hoping to get some input from the locals to tell us if we are wrong here, if there are other inlets that we don't know about, or if the inlets that we think are adequate are inadequate. The other thing is we would like you all to let us know if there's a road that habitually gets flooded or overtopped. We'd like those indicated also. So we started here with one that was indicated that it is likely undersized. So this will be a way for you all to let us know, here's something, make sure to look at this. So for the downtown, because there's so much more going on in this downtown area, that's why we did this blow up. Because as far as I know, this is the only place that has the storm drain underground pipes and the system connected. So that's downtown. For the greater area, We did this other map over here behind Jamie and the mayor. You want me to get this to you, Joyce, to let you sort of, okay? All right. I'm gonna move so I can get this. Okay. The big magenta line is the outline of the city of Jenkins. So you stand here and you look at the top of the hill, that's your city limit. Top of the hill, city limit for most of the city. There are two drainage patterns that enter down between here and Bardine that drain from outside of the city, and then there's a little portion here that's from outside of the city. For the most part, the city of Jenkins is a watershed, which is the coolest thing that you can have as a city, because you can control what's going on in your watershed and therefore in your city. If you pass a citywide ordinance, you are protecting your entire watershed. So that is a very cool thing for any city to have. Most cities are like, oh, what watershed am I in? And different people in the city is in 5 different watersheds, and it's hard. Jenkins, what watershed are you in? Jenkins. We're in the Elkhorn Creek watershed the whole time. If you're in the city of Jenkins, you are in the Elkhorn Creek watershed. And then there's just a few people outside who drain into us too. So the things that we will have that I would like for y'all to let us know from on these outlying areas are the same things really. Is there a crossing, say here? I really have no idea because I've not been here when it's been raining hard. So if you got a spot here that that culvert gets overloaded every time we get an inch of rain. That's what we want to know. So we've got a sign-up piece of paper, not a sign-up, but a piece of paper. So we can put a push pin in it with a number on it, and it will like a name, contact, and that information. This is a small culvert that gets overloaded. This is an inlet that seems to be clogged. This, whatever your rainwater problem is, let us know. Because our point in doing this study is to find all those problems, identify them, so that we can rank them and say, hey, we've got this. Yeah, I know this was not a problem, but we've got this huge thing here with all these acres of drainage, and it's causing a problem. Well, then that's the first one we need to fix. The biggest problem with the biggest fix is your first priority. And so those are the things that I can do a model and say, what we think is what it should do. And yes, it should do that. But if we have local information, we know, and we can fit our model to match this. Because we have the information on those rainfall events that we had that caused the major flooding in this area. So we know how much rain it came down, and we know what the river gauge or how deep the water got in those locations. So we can take our models and make them match. So that when we model these other storms, these imaginary storms, but everybody talks about a 5, 10, 15-year storm. So when we model the imaginary storms, we can make sure that what we put in them tell us the truth by comparing it to what really happened to you guys in the past few years. So that's the entire point of this meeting. So you can tell us where the problem is, so we can get them ranked, prioritized, evaluated, so that your city has a plan of action. Okay, the best thing we can do first will be A, whatever A is, and then on up. And they will also have monetary value applied to them, such that we think fixing this drainage basin or this bridge would cost $20,000. Just a vague number here. But fixing this and it will fix $50,000 worth of stuff. But if we do this $10,000 thing, it'll fix $100,000 worth of stuff. Well, that's the kind of information we're going to be able to give you guys, so that you can prioritize. And so, I've only got $10,000 this year. Let's fix this big thing, even though it's not going to cost a bunch. It's going to have a big impact. So that's the information we are planning to be able to hand to you guys as a result of our study and y'all's input.
I'll go ahead and transition there. So basically, we're coming up with a long-range plan, not just what are we going to do right now with the monies that are available now, but what can we do to address all of the identified problems, and that'll take a little bit longer. So, we're going to be coming up with those cost estimates, getting input on the ranking from the feedback that we're getting tonight. And some of the examples of the types of projects that we're talking about would be obviously fixing inlets, or just maintenance of inlets. Some of them are owned by KYTC, so getting their involvement. We've already started some of that conversation to try to get some assistance on some of the state-owned inlets. Ditches fill up with silt over time, and they don't have the carrying capacity that they were at one point in time. So being able to doing some maintenance on ditches. Same thing with the streams. They had a carrying capacity at one point in time, and they currently have some debris and some choke points right now. And so that's one of the things that we've noticed. Some of the other types of things that we'll be doing is making some suggestions for ordinances and regulations as well. I know we've got our floodplain administrator here. I'm looking there.
We've got two of them. Those are here.
Yep. So we've got those here, and they're enforcing what we currently have for our ordinances. And there might be some things that we need to add to that or to tweak in some sort of a way. So getting some feedback on those ordinances, and there might be some suggestions that we can bring to the table with that as well. There are ways that you can do a certain type of program, the CRS program, that would reduce the flood insurance rates for people in your community. And you wouldn't want to do everything on that CRS program, because that would be a full-time person just doing floodplain things all day long. And y'all don't have time for that as a small community, but if you can do and those result in like a 20 or 30% discount on the insurance, but you could do the 5% things, and it would just be a very small change to what you're doing now, and it would be a big impact to everybody's pocketbook, maybe make up for the rate changes that happen just because of inflation. So there's some other ideas besides hard infrastructure that might help us as we're continuing to set you guys up for success in the future. That's really what we want to be helping with. Detention and infrastructure, some other green infrastructure, some of the other types of items that we can be talking about as well. Other item, just a housekeeping one, we've set up an email account, so if you have pictures of flooding, you can send those to us at the Jenkins Stormwater email that we set up. We've already gotten quite a few from City Hall, and I appreciate that. That was kind of our only formal part of tonight. We'll just tell you a little bit about what we're doing and what we're going to use your information to do in our stormwater study or stormwater report that we're working on.
Three more things. The urgency is what we're going to do. There's a 6-point urgency scale to determine what's the most important. But in that, you're going to qualify because you all had to live with the mud, and then we're going to quantify it. And so there's a benefit cost analysis that we will be doing with each little project to determine what is most cost effective. And obviously, if there's life or limb or property, and that's the number one urgency. And then you get down where it's just a petty annoyance, that'd be like a 6. When you walk out to your car and maybe you have your own pothole in your own little street, that's not going to be something we'd probably look at.
So I appreciate everybody being here, and I know we've got a lot of really important and sophisticated folks here, so I'm really looking forward to our breakout time. So I'm going to get out from behind the desk and be excited to talk with individuals, and each of us are here tonight to do that, to talk with you and to get feedback. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So.
And
Go ahead and get going.
I know everybody knows you already, and Kelly.
Yeah, we can go ahead and go around the room. Obviously, we have the mayor. And we'll go ahead and start over here. We'll just...
You know my name?
Yeah, we'll just do a quick introduction. It's a small room.
You just Quinn Bowling.
Yeah.
I don't know you know me.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
And it's April.
I'm April, and we're on the city clerk.
I'm Chris Anderson, I'm the floodplain coordinator for the city.
I'm Nate Alexander, I'm the Big Sandy Basin Coordinator, so I work for the Division of Water, it's the non-regulatory water.
I'm Amber Hawkins. I'm also a basin coordinator, but I actually fall in the Salt River, so this isn't my area. I was actually just in Breathitt County today helping with education outreach, so I'm just here. Yeah, I'm just crashing the party.
I'm Rick Davern, I'm a Jenkins City Council.
Terry Adams, Fletcher County Judge and City.
Eunice Holland with QK4, a part of the administration team on the grant.
I'm Kelly George, DCMC Partners. I'm the grant administrator for the moment.
I'm Phil Boggs, I'm the property owner here in the city of Jenkins.
I'm Wade Adams, on Adams Construction. My company does flood recovery work.
Perry Bauer, County Floodplain Coordinator.
Excellent.
How big is Jenkins square miles? About?
I can't remember.
80.
I can't remember.
It's pretty big.
I think acres.
No, it'd be miles.
80 square miles on, let's see. 8.9 square miles.
So you're like,
Yeah.
8, that's what I said, 8.
Yeah, you did.
When we pulled out in the plow truck, it's 80 miles round trip. That's all I know.
Well, I'll be over here at this map, and Joyce is gonna be over there at that map, and we're glad to be, talking with you about these different areas.
So just stand up and go, Mr. Boggs wanted to say something before, I think you wanted to talk about, or did you want to talk in the public?
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay, Mr. Boggs, go ahead.
Again, my name is Phil Boggs. My wife and I own the house at 73 Wheaton Hollow, and we've had a flooding issue that Mayor Free and I have been discussing for about a year.
But it's been longer than that, but we've been talking.
Okay. We met out there last July and looked it over. Basically, we've got some drainage issues that looks like some structure that failed. It stopped up, failed, stopped up, collapsed, whatever. But it's causing property damage to not only our house, it's causing property damage to 2 neighbors, I believe you said, and then one below us. So basically, it's a matter of water coming down, hitting the house, washing out driveways, and flooding basements. And the basements, I think, most of them around here are like half concrete, half dirt.
Yep.
Okay, the water always comes in the dirt part.
Inevitably.
Right, so it pushes mud into the concrete part, and that's what we're facing on our property.
Okay.
And I'll be glad to show you where it is on the map.
Absolutely.
I'll be open to it. Well, I've got a map here. Okay.
Don't be shy, come on up and talk to him.
Are you in the downtown area or in?
I didn't see you.
It's over the other one. Yeah.
Are you happy with where you are? Are you flooded? You, I know your city hall is flooded, but everybody comes to say, oh, that way. I think going down that way. Got you. And we'll come back tomorrow.
This one, here, and here, and there's some kind of pipe in the hazel.